I haven't used alcohol since that day, nor prior to that day. And I am truly just so sorry for this. This has made a mistake. It's hurting me. It's hurting my aunt that, she's diabetic, who's now going to have to try and take care of my son while I do this. And I'm truly, truly, truly sorry. I'm willing to jump hoops to do what I got to do to make this right.
Thank you, Judge. Day and time for sentencing in this matter. We have reviewed the report with Ms. Shepherd. Um, there were not substantial any additional deletions or corrections, Your Honor. She did indicate that Ms. Shepherd did bring her medications, which I believe she has a bag of, in case she is taken into custody today. She's remorseful for her actions. I believe that there's a recommendation for her to serve 4 days. By statute, she'd be asking the court to consider not doing those 4 days, but she understands that the court may have its hands tied as a result of the statute. She does have a minor child, a 3-year-old son that she is the sole provider for, and she will own to provide for that child, as well as having limited resources for help. They include the only person she has, I believe, is her aunt, who has her own situations that may make it difficult for her to maintain taking care of her child. But she understands the court has to do what the court has to do, but she'd ask the court to follow the recommendation aside from the 4 days.
And Teresa Claire on behalf of probation, Your Honor, I just wanted to update the court when I provided my recommendation to the court. Ms. Shepherd had not downloaded her Scram Tether since February 19th. She did get in yesterday to get that downloaded. And they provided a report to the court, so there's been no violations on it. So I wanted to update the court with it.
All right. Anything you want to say, ma'am, before I impose sentence?
I'd like to say that I am truly very sorry for my my actions that I did. I did 6 years in the penitentiary back in 2021, and from 2015 to 2021. It definitely did turn my life around. But while I was in there, my mother, my father, my grandma, my grandpa, and my brother all passed away on me at that time when I got released. I was doing great, and it came around Christmas time. I was going through postpartum depression, and I chose to make a very, very bad choice. I haven't used alcohol since that day, nor prior to that day. And I am truly just so sorry for this. This has made a mistake. It's hurting me. It's hurting my aunt that, she's diabetic, who's now going to have to try and take care of my son while I do this. And I'm truly, truly, truly sorry. I'm willing to jump hoops to do what I got to do to make this right.
All right. Court does acknowledge this is not a serious misdemeanor as defined by statute. However, it does believe there are reasonable grounds to depart from the presumption of a non-probationary sentence. The alcohol screening and assessment identifies the benefit of outpatient treatment, attendance at AA meetings, and abstinence from all intoxicants. Therefore, the court will follow the recommendation of probation with the stated rehabilitative goals to promote change, prevent recidivism, and to monitor compliance of recommended treatment. So therefore, the sentence of the court, I'm going to place you on probation for a period of 24 months. You are to pay $1,255 fines and court costs, $100 prosecution recovery costs, $100 police agency recovery costs, and $720 probation oversight fees. When do you think you can get that paid, ma'am?
I can start paying that as of tomorrow.
How much?
But when I can give you guys $100 tomorrow.
Let's do this. $100. I'll make that payable by April 30th. And then a payment plan as directed by probation. Understood?
Yes, sir.
There should be no use of alcohol, recreational marijuana, or any illegal substance subject to random testing as requested by probation. You're to complete outpatient substance, including all and follow all recommendations, including aftercare recommendations with status reports to probation. You're to attend one AA meeting per week with monthly verification to probation. You're to provide proof of the victim's impact panel attendance to probation. I will continue to Scram Tether until there's proof of outpatient treatment. and that is provided to probation. Pursuant to the statute, after order what I'm going to order 365 days in jail. I'll give you credit for the 1 day that you served. You are remanded to serve an additional 4 days, then the balance will be suspended. Defendant is.
Your Honor, date and time set for sentencing. We did have an opportunity to review the PSI report. We believe it to be factually accurate, no additions, corrections, deletions. Just by way of allocution, Your Honor, if I may, Ms. Williams is before you on her first and what I expect to be her only criminal offense. I know you hear that often, but when you look at her story throughout this PSI, it's one of resilience and perseverance. She was in an incredibly dark place at the time of this incident, both from a mental health standpoint, from a substance abuse standpoint, but she essentially lifted herself up from her own bootstraps and got herself out of hell. And she did that through proactive measures with interventional treatment, counseling, therapy. It wasn't easy, but she did it. And I think that's reflected within the PSI report that she was able to overcome some of these issues that she was dealing with, and she's in an extremely better spot as it stands today before you. But understanding that she has to take accountability for her actions, there's no excuse for her actions on the day of the incident. None of that is to provide the justification, but more just as context as to where she was at in her life. But again, please report that she's in a much, much better spot. I see that the recommendations for fines and costs, I think that's appropriate. We'd ask the court to adopt it. I know Ms. Williams has some things she wants to tell the court as well.
All right. Williams, what would you like to tell?
Sorry, I'm nervous. Foremost, I
Okay,
just want to.
me too. You're all right. Don't worry about it.
Okay, foremost, Your Honor, I just want to apologize. I mean, this incident was extremely out of character for me, and as my attorney said, I was definitely in a very dark point in my life. But since then, I have successfully completed outpatient treatment for alcohol use and co-occurring disorders. I reconnected with my sponsor. I've been attending meetings and working the steps. I'm almost 6 months sober, and so that's been good.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I am returning to classes, graduate classes, next week, and I'm gonna formally reapply to return to grad school, and I'm looking at full-time job offers so I can contribute to the community again in my field, which is biomedicine and healthcare. In the meantime, I'm still tutoring and yeah, trying to contribute to the community the best I can. Yeah, I'm extremely apologetic. Honestly, I respect first responders so much. So immediately after the incident, I wanted to make sure I did everything in my power to make sure this would never happen again.
How's it feel being sober that long?
Oh, it feels great.
Does
I
it?
can't believe I drank before. Yeah.
That is fantastic to hear. And you said you're going to get yourself enrolled back in school?
Yeah, so right now I'm just taking classes. So I'm looking into getting into applied math. But before
For
I was in a
God's sakes,
PhD,
why? But that's okay. No, go ahead.
before I was in a PhD program for cellular and molecular pathology at U of M. So
I don't even
working
know what
on
that
it's like cancer research.
is. Yeah,
We're trying-
okay, thank you.
We're trying to make cancer research faster and better.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right, man.
And so I'm trying to get into now a little bit more of math, which is using AI to actually make it cheaper for patients. I want to keep that part. Patient care is the priority.
That is when I was reading over this report, then I hear what your counsel said, and then I heard what you said about where you've been and where you are now. I'm extremely impressed, young lady.
Thank you.
You're for some reason, maybe you had to end up in that dark place, maybe to realize really what your potential is.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
So-
I'm grateful every day to be here. So be here, be sober, and I feel like good things are coming if I stay on this track for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what. I believe that great things are coming for you, and I a lot of times when I meet people, they think that I don't really want to see them, but when I'm listening to you, I consider myself blessed just to hear and read part of your story.
Thank
All
you.
right.
That means a lot.
You keep all of the great things going. Lady, here's what I'm gonna do, because I really don't think, and counsel said, I hear it a lot, but I don't think you'll be back before the court at all.
No, I like to follow rules.
Yeah, me too. All right. Here's what I'm gonna do though. It's a sentence of the court that I'm gonna sentence you to $425. I'm gonna waive 300 of that. I'm gonna give you credit for your 6 months of sobriety. So you're just gonna need to pay the statutory minimums, which is $125. And then
Okay.
90 days of jail, credit one, the balance suspended. And follow the best into the future, young lady.
Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
you
you
very
so
much, Your
much.
Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.